This pair for you, caller 10. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Forget the Rock Hall. When does Poundcake go into the Country Hall of Fame?
My truck, my beer, my guns.
Say it again. It's the Alan Cox Show
on 100.7 WMMS.
Get a fast car. I want a ticket to anywhere. Maybe we make a deal. Maybe together we can get somewhere. Any place is better. Starting from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove.
I don't think I knew until a few years ago that Tracy Chapman was from Cleveland. But this song is 35 years old. This is the biggest hit she has. It's called Fast Car.
You got a fast car.
And she's the first black woman to win the CMA award. They had the Country Music Association Awards last night. And Luke Combs covered this. He had a big hit with this song. He's a fat ginger, isn't he, Luke Combs?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And all moist.
It won. What's that?
I think it's Mary All Moist. Those fat gingers.
Yeah, and it won Single of the Year or won Song of the Year or something. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Let me find my little clip here.
Single of the Year. And the CMA award goes to Fast Car, Luke Combs.
And the CMA award for the Song of the Year goes to Fast Car, Tracy Chapman.
Yeah, so Luke Combs, you know, she wrote the song. And so she has won herself Country Music Association Award. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say?
They won both awards.
Both. Yeah. First black woman to ever win a CMA award. She also had a song called "Gimme One Reason," which I think is real good. I don't know.
That's the one I'm more familiar with because
I don't know if that one got much attention.
We had Tracy Chapman's Greatest Hits as like one of our early CDs.
Yeah,
and that was the one that we played more than Fast Car.
Okay,
but that's a great song too. I feel like this is in a commercial, too.
It probably was.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's been able to eke out a pretty good living just off of a couple of songs.
Give me one reason to stay.
And she's also kind of been not reclusive, but you don't see Tracy Chapman doing much, I don't think. She still goes out and tours. And
she kind of does it on her own terms.
Yes.
That's like the ideal situation where you make a ton of money, but you're not in the spotlight. Love that.
So because she won,
got to fly around on wires. She's up there with the guitar.
Take that, Pink.
Great songs.
So now they're saying because of that she will probably get a Grammy nomination. That list is going to drop tomorrow. But she won a Grammy back in the 80s for this. I mean, when Fast Car was like a big hit, she came out of nowhere. But again, I didn't know until a couple of years ago, until somebody told me that she was from Cleveland. And I was reading a thing on her. She started playing the guitar and writing her own songs when she was 8. And she said she wanted to pick up a guitar because she was watching Hee Haw. And, you know, people chuckle at that, but I watched Hee Haw as a kid because it was on at my grandma's. And they had Roy Clark on Hee Haw, who is undeniably one of the greatest guitar players of all time.
Did you hear that they're rebooting Hee Haw?
What are they calling it?
Well, it's going to be woke now, so it's They Haw.
Oh, you son of a bitch. They Haw. Well, thank God Roy Clark's dead then, because he probably wouldn't cotton to something like that. But, no, Roy Clark was just fantastic. I mean, he did, because I'd watch Hee Haw when I was a kid. And, you know, my extended family, they were all rural people. And that was that variety show on Sundays that really is all kind of this, like, corny humor, but it was so funny. And it ran forever. Like, Hee Haw used to get 30 million viewers a week. It was a massive, massive show. And it was Roy Clark, and it was Buck Owens, and it was Minnie Pearl. And Roy Clark was just this unbelievable craftsman with a guitar. It's him playing the 12th Street Rag, which is a song from the turn of the century. late 1800s it got written, and he's just a picking and a grinning.
Oh, yeah.
If you're old enough to remember when Roy Clark used to guest host for Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show, and he would, and they'd beg him to play guitar. Because this song gets progressively faster, where you can't believe that he's not screwing up the picking on it. Some people, this song has been used in a lot of things, the Roy Clark version. Some people associate it with SpongeBob. Poundcake probably recognizes the music from SpongeBob.
I do.
Yeah. Well, it was Roy Clark playing the 12th Street Rag.
How cool.
Yeah. But he wrote his own music. He died from pneumonia a few years ago. But, he used to smoke weed with Willie Nelson. And
how much is his estate worth?
I don't
money
know.
Is good. That's all I'm saying. That's
okay.
Money is probably good.
Roy Clark vehicle among items at estate sale. He died in Tulsa. He was from Virginia, but he died in Tulsa.
$10 million.
What's that?
$10 million.
Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Oh. Net worth $10 million at the time of his death. That's a lot of money for an 83-year-old man, who I don't think had toured in a long time. But Tracy Chapman taking her early inspiration from Hee Haw. They Haw when they're going to reboot it. And who's going to be on the show? Do they know? I mean, I haven't seen. Wow. Country music. They're not down with the whole woke thing. Jason Aldean still looks at with that dumb face when people complain about that song of his. You don't know what the hell you're talking about if you got any complaints.
Won't be complaining when they got a bunch of hot girls on there. And then he's going to be like, oh, I want to see them boobies.
Oh, yeah. See, listen to this. That's just him playing. Like, it's unbelievable. I mean, it is kind of comical, but
so fast and
so
impressive.
Fast.
Can we do Talking About a Revolution by Tracy Chapman?
Sure.
She started to pack, but I figured I could get us back on the right track. So I give her a weekly allowance, but you fellas know how that is. Though she spent it before I had a chance to borrow it back.
She spent it before I had a chance to borrow it back. Love Hee Haw. Talking About a Revolution by Tracy Chapman. When she had a really short hair, right? And like the really short dress.
Don't you know, we're talking about a revolution. Sounds like a whisper. Don't you know, we're talking about a revolution. It sounds like a whisper. While they're standing in the welfare lines, crying at the doorsteps of those armies of salvation.
You listened to this when you were a kid?
It was just...
it was on in the Squire house?
Yeah, because it was one of the first CDs we got.
Wow.
Like we had like
it's a pretty progressive song. This is a protest song.
Yeah.
Poor people gonna rise up, get their share.
This from a first album, yeah?
I don't know.
Self-titled album.
I just had the greatest hits.
You what?
We just had the greatest hits. I don't know.
Oh, it's on the greatest hits.
Yeah.
I see. Well, anyway, congratulations to Cleveland's own Tracy Chapman for being the first black woman to get a Country Music Association award for that song. Anytime you want to call us, you can. I'm going to give you some money here first. It's $1,000 from the Buzzard Bookie. Listen closely and good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Bank. That's bank. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Hey, Alan. Matt down here in Lane County. I just wanted to bring up with issue 2. Do you think these companies are going to now do more regulated drug testings than they already were? And aren't you going to be afraid that this might lead to more unemployment and we'll have to raise more taxes and anything? Just wanted to get your thoughts. Love me, love you. Please love me. Hate the show. Bye.
Bye. So the question's what? I mean, the thought is that now that recreational marijuana is legal, more people are going to lose their jobs because they'll be tested. And, I mean, that's always been the case. Even in states where it's legal recreationally, it's still illegal federally.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why, banks can't do anything with the money. That's why, dispensaries are a cash business. Because they haven't now, as more and more states, Ohio's the 24th state. So about half the union now has legal recreational marijuana. I don't know at what point the banks get it together and go, we've got to figure out some kind of way to deal with this.
And I truly feel, unless you're operating like machinery or something that could like really endanger someone by you being like intoxicated or I think they just want people to show up to work.
Well, they do.
I really think people, if you're able to do your job, because there's some people, it really is a medical condition. Like there's some, like, oh, you're high, but like you can get high off of Adderall or whatever. Like you can have a high or a different reaction when you take over-the-counter or prescription medications. So if you're using it as a medicine, then I don't think that's a big deal.
Well, what they need to do first is they need to make marijuana not a Schedule I drug. That would go a long way.
That's what I'm saying.
It's still a Schedule I drug. So it's still categorized with heroin and LSD and meth and, that kind of stuff. That's ridiculous. Now, the pro-pot people, and I count myself among them, you still have to have a clear head about it, pardon the pun, and realize that, yes, there are going to be people who are impaired. And it would be no different if this passed because people think you should regulate like alcohol, then it would be just the same as if you were drunk at work. So,
yeah,
but I can't see, to his point, I can't see people like unemployment going up because people are losing their jobs. I mean, there are a lot of places now, they don't even test for marijuana.
Yeah.
It's not even on the radar anymore because it's kind of so pervasive now.
Like if these people, if you have a remote job, you're working from home, again, you're not supposed to be.
Well, I don't think he's talking about people working from home.
Say you have an
talking about blue collar workers who need to go into work.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be driving high as it is. So yeah,
understood.
You shouldn't be driving impaired.
But a lot of people do. It's like there are people
like,
who
I'm better when I.
But there's people that can't drive when they have too much coffee.
There are people who will. I don't know about anybody who can't drive when they have too much coffee. But there are people,
the deaths that have been from people having too much caffeine.
Here's the thing: if the only way I'm getting into an accident if I had too much coffee is if I poop my pants. Like that's, I'm not going to slam into another car, but I might have a little too much brown bean juice, and then
oh god,
all of a sudden it's dumping out.
Like that civet coffee or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I mean. It's just like the people who will tell you what great drunk drivers they are. I do all the time. I never got caught. That's not the flex you think it is, homie. I mean, there are people who will tell you that they smoke a lot of weed, and I think the more you build up a tolerance to it, there's probably a case to be made there. But that's way down the road. I don't think that's what people are talking about.
I've only heard girls say that they're great drunk drivers. I've never heard a guy saying, I'm a great drunk driver. It's always...
Plenty of guys do that. It's all that macho nonsense.
I'm sure there are guys, but in my experience, I've only heard girls say, I'm a great drunk driver. They're like holding their heels in their hand, and they're like walking in the...
because you're hanging out with drunk girls.
I know, but I'm not I'm like, you can't
But
drive
I imagine somebody took their keys eventually. They were saying that as a protest, not as an explanation.
Yeah, I called an Uber. I'm not driving with them, but
yeah.
I don't know, man. I think the stigma. I think the reason why it's not federally regulated is because big pharma makes too much money on selling people other drugs, like just because they don't want people to use it medicinally to they have cancer or like to soothe the pain because they make all this money on pain meds. Who's going to use all our other drugs with all the other side effects to cause you to buy other medication?
I don't know.
That's what I think.
Well, you tell me.
Yeah, everyone's in bed with each other. All these lobbyists for Big Pharma, they don't want us to get a little weed. That's all. Pop this little edible and it'll fix your back pain. They don't want that.
Well, and as people point out, there is a difference between the occasional pot smoker and the wake and baker. The person who, like, smokes all the time.
That's too much for me because I feel like at that point, you're bankrupting yourself because I'm like, I can't smoke that much. You smoke yourself sober and you smoke yourself, like, out of, like...
Well, but also I think it's a combination. It's kind of like the axes have crossed the other way on marijuana. It's way stronger than it used to be, and it's a lot cheaper than it used to be, depending on what you're getting.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
So it's like that's the best of both worlds.
Right. I'm
high all day.
I like to be high from a little bit of weed. I got like an ounce of weed from Michigan, and I'm slowly going through it, but it's going to last so long because 2 hits and I'm where I want to be because I don't like to be super duper high. I like to be a little high for about 20 minutes.
I don't want
to. And then I'm like, that's all I want.
Take the edge off. Yep. A little THC goo here and there is fine for me.
I don't want to be exhausted from lifting up my arm. Like, there's people.
Bro, what are you smoking?
Exhausted.
These people like, I'm so like.
But that's you on a regular day.
From lifting up my arm? No.
You're sleeping at 8:30, 9 o'clock. He's got his clothes in garbage bags. He's not,
That's not the same thing. I can
It's
move
not?
those.
You're not tired from lifting your arm up?
No, I can move my body. I'm jittery all the time. If something
Move your body.
if something is making me not jittery, you guys will know when something's wrong. If I'm very still and I'm looking straight ahead, I'm probably on something. I don't even want to be on coke or any of these other drugs because I'm crazy enough as it is.
Well, look at you. He's crazy enough as it is.
Could you imagine me being a cokehead?
No, I can't. I mean, I can. I don't want to.
Maybe I'll try it one time and just see what it's like and get it out of my system.
I bet we wouldn't even be able to tell.
But
I bet you think we would,
and I exaggerate your
personality.
Yeah, right.
It hits everybody different. It might chill you out, honestly.
Like, yeah, just took a little coke to chill out. I just want to relax and just did a line real quick. Just a bump.
Let me know when you want to do some cocaine. We'll make it happen.
Okay.
You think marijuana is sexy? Look, by the time Ohio is cool with anything, it's not sexy anymore. Marijuana is for 50-year-olds at a Dead and Company concert.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, that's his point being that's not what the kids are into these days, marijuana. So I think that's why a lot of
the mollies.
Yeah, the people have kind of given up on the whole kids thing too. They like to whip out kids when it's convenient for them politically, but they barely in the protest against legalizing marijuana. You had the usual suspects, right? Mike DeWine and whatever. But you really didn't hear them talking about kids too much because they know what nonsense that is. They're like, these days, you'd be happy if your kid was just smoking pot. I got a break here. Want to get a text in? 35192. AlanCoxShow.com to watch, and we'll be back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.
Buzzard Radio.
The Buzzard.
Is Rover.
Into your underpants? Oh, my God.
Rock.
Money!
And Alan Cox.
I try to listen to you, and I just can't do it.
I do appreciate your persistence.
UFM home of the Cavaliers.
This is Cavaliers Big Tristan Thompson on 100.7 WMMS.
Get unlimited wireless from Boost Infinite. Infinitely better. Learn more at boostinfinite.com.
Are you a business owner, CEO, or responsible for marketing? If you are, iHeartMedia can help you reach your goals and find new customers. We reach more consumers in your target area than anyone else. And we can give you access to those potential customers more cost-effectively across radio, digital, podcasting, and social. We'd love to show you how iHeartMedia can work for you. From your cell, dial #250 and say keyword great results. That's